And in money matters, the local index will be contending with mixed global markets at the start of the last quarter amid a flat dollar. Traders face market volatility caused by the war in Ukraine, high inflation and interest rate hikes, while the greenback has jumped against the rand. Zwelakhe Mnguni is Chief Investment Officer at Benguela Global Fund Managers. He joins us now for a look at how the markets are faring. A very good Monday and happy morning to you. Does that trend follow what we're seeing on the markets?
I think we're likely to follow the trend. I think we might maybe get a bit of a reprieve from the resources sector, particularly because of the rand that has stayed relatively weak. But I think broadly speaking, we should be following the rest of the world. I think as you saw this morning, we had Asia being weak. And I think on Friday, the U.S. closed weak. So I do think that we'll have a weaker market opening today.
Well, oil prices jumped over 2%, while OPEC Plus may consider an output cut of more than 1 million barrels. What's happening there?
Yeah, I think what OPEC often does is they try to forecast demand based on what is the outlook for the global economy. Because otherwise, what happens is if you have a sudden decline or at least unanticipated decline in the global demand for crude due to economic reasons, then the prices fall for some, it falls below a point where they are able to balance their budget. Oftentimes, these oil producers are owned by the government, so the likes of Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. So suddenly, the price that they try and manage the price to kind of get it to a point where there is stability. So they are looking to cut a million barrels, or at least they are expected to cut 1 million barrels because of how quickly the price moved below 100. Last month they did 100,000. So yeah, I think that is basically the broad expectation.
The Asset Purchasing Managers Index once again declined in September from 52 basis points in August to 48. Why?
Yeah, I think what seems to be coming through is the business conditions are deteriorating. And also, I think there was an element where some of the managers suggested that the electricity has had a major impact in terms of the ability to provide, or at least to look ahead and do purchases. So it does look like the energy crisis that we are having has had a major impact on the economy. I think that will come through maybe the GDP numbers, but I think on the transaction side, I also noted that there was an increase in the transactions. So the online transactions that has increased, but it may be just a trend where consumption is shifting from cash to online, and that might not necessarily mean that the consumer is feeling good about the environment.
Prosus has announced the termination of their agreement to acquire BillDesk. Why?
Yeah, I mean, the transaction was subject to some competition conditions. So it looks like there was 1 or 2 conditions that they were not able to fulfill, and they were therefore they had to basically cut the transaction off. If I'm not mistaken, it's about a $4.7 billion transaction in India. So that transaction won't come through. But I think as one has come to realize that Prosus is always on the lookout for opportunities, but sometimes these opportunities are not always value accretive, but they seem to be chasing a lot of growth in their approach.
Zwelakhe Mnguni, Chief Investment Officer at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Thank you.